Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen table and another one on my marks. And today I'm bringing you my take on the Imperial heavy dropship that can be seen in the Mandalorian Season 2, being used by Moff Gideon and his Imperial remnant to transport troops to fight Mando and Boba Fett. And I also think a version of this ship appears in the Andor show, but there it's being used as a prisoner transport. But without further ado, let's get right into the details of this ship. And we'll start off with the exterior. And down here is the main boarding ramp of the ship, which looks pretty shiny on camera. And that is because I used some reversed tile pieces for the boarding ramp to keep it looking smooth, but then still to be able to pose troopers entering and exiting the ship. Then another tricky part of the design was to get the sloping angle of the front roof to look correct. But I think I solved it pretty well, and I used a tiled off look to it with just a couple of studs showing here in the front. Then we'll move down here towards the ship's main armament, which is these dual laser turrets here that can be posed to fire down if you're going down through atmosphere and going to launch your troops, or if you're in pursuit of an enemy fighter, you can have them pointing forward. And then of course we have the same features on the other side of the ship as well. While I was looking at some screenshots of the ship and also some fan art while designing this, I saw this diagonal line that appeared on many of the pictures. So I thought I want to capture that feature as best as I could as well in my design. And therefore, I didn't do too much greebling on my own. Instead, I tried to keep as many little details as I could. So therefore we have this sloping feature coming out of the body and then being a part of the main wings or engines here to reinforce them. Here you can also see the engine flares with a blue tint to them on both sides of the back. Then here in the front part of the engines for the intakes, I used some snot technique also. Then we have this very smooth off engine using these sloping tiles here, both in the bottom and top. And then we have these angle pieces going up towards the main dome where the pilot sits and controls the craft. And here in the back we have some more little greebling details. We have these little kind of almost exhaust looking features to the ship, but I solved that using these panels. So you're not supposed to fold these out, they're just for show, but I guess if you want that as a play feature, you could have that be like an emergency exit for your troopers or whatever. And then here we have the main little dome where the pilot sits and controls the craft from. And I am aware that that is one of the biggest inaccuracies and sacrifices I had to make while designing this. It is that this dome piece sticks up a little bit too much, but that was just to get it to become more minifigure scaled and to fit all the interior parts as best as I could, since I think the screenshots show the dome piece starting right after these sloping parts here. But yeah, you'll get why I did this when you see the interior of the ship. Anyhow, let's move on from the exterior and get into the features and the interior of the ship, where we have the main feature here being kind of the boarding ramp where we have the troops deploying from. So that can just be folded down like this. And then you can place your minifigures here. I also want to get the pattern that you can see in the show as correct as possible. Here you can of course post your stormtroopers rushing out of the ship to join the battle. And then we have these little almost hydraulic looking parts of the ramp that also just fold neatly into the rest of the hull and doesn't interfere with any other parts of the interior for the ship. Put our stormtrooper there. Move along to the top part where we have the pilot. So here we have this little sloping dome here, but this can also be folded up to reveal our TIE fighter pilot sitting here and controlling the ship. And he is looking out directly out of the little red windshield that you see in the show. You can even see the red tint on his helmet here. But yeah, that's just like an easy access to get your pilot in and out of the ship. But I also made it possible for you to remove the whole roof piece and have that as an independent part, so you can get greater access to the cockpit area of the ship. And here we have our little TIE pilot sitting on his chair with some control panels. Then we have a ladder leading down towards the first floor, where we have the rest of the troop compartment. Also put a little crate in here just for detail. And you'll get a better view of the troop compartment once we lift off the roof as well. But you have a little walkway there leading into where the troops sit. And now we could just easily lift off the entire roof or fold it up like this to show you the interior, where we have seating for 10 stormtroopers to sit comfortably within the ship, which I think was quite enough to have a deployment of troops to the battlefield. So they all sit on these dark tan little chairs, and here you can see the inside of the ramp being folded up. And of course you can still fold up the roof while the roof for the pilot is on. You just can't fold it as high, but you can still get your troops in and out of the interior if you want to that way. And then we have one last feature that I really want to show you, which is that I gave this ship retractable landing gear. So if we can focus, let's see. There we go. Here we have the landing gear that it lands on to get a nice angle to the ramp. And those landing gear can just be folded in inside the body of the ship as well. Focus camera. There we go. So you can fold it in both on the front and back of the ship and have it laying flat like that as well. But I think it looks better while the landing gear is folded out, of course. I want to let you guys know that instructions are available for this ship on my Rubricable, so be sure to check that out after the video. But first, I'm going to give you a little size comparison to this Imperial dropship, since it will be a part of my Imperial task force and really complete my second airborne platoon next to my LAAT LE, the LAAT LE, Law Enforcement Low Altitude Attack Transport. Oh, I got the full abbreviation there. But yeah, so here is how it scales up next to my other big ship in the airborne platoon. So now we can carry 10 troopers in this Imperial dropship, and in the LAAT LE we can carry 6 more, and then we have another 6 in the battle pack dropships. So that will make the airborne platoon consist of 22 stormtroopers, which will be pretty cool to have in the task force. So I hope you guys liked this little show and tell of my Imperial heavy dropship. And if you did, do leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.